Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm proud to be here with Lane again as usual. As you can see, my hat's disappearing. So normally when Lane gets me into these stupid, crazy costumes, we can have a little bit more fun of that. But most importantly, I'm glad you're here to join us for the second day, and we're really proud that Springboard is actually launching. And but you know, we're trying the best we can. So Lane, I'll let you go from here for a little bit.
Thank you, Brad, and welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you here. You may be wondering about our outfits. We argued about our outfits, as you might imagine, and we decided to. I said, if we were dressing for what was appropriate for the times. This is clearly we're most timely here now. So, but we always try to start Springboard off with something special.
Can I throw my hair back and forth now, Lane?
You can, Brad. I know I've been tossing my hair all morning. As much as we seem to be propelled into the future, things resemble more like the past. I think we live a more Walton's-like lifestyle. I'm showing my age, where we eat together and say night night. But it reminds me, Brad, of like when you go to the art museum and you see those pictures of the people half naked on those velvet sofas and the gold leaf from the 1700s. That kind of resembles how the new dress code in my house. I don't know about yours, but it's crazy, right? I always opened an email with "Hey there." Now I got to say, I hope you're making out okay under the circumstances in every single communication. No, but seriously, we're glad that everybody's here. We think you should take advantage. We've tried to deal with Zoom overload and people's stimulation of their sleep receptors and limited the programming to the most relevant stuff. We asked people to come with the lessons that they learned, the things that you'd write down, the nuggets that you'd take home. So this isn't a puff piece where, people are just going to chat about how somebody who's larger than you in size, better looking, and richer accomplished their goals. It's a place for you to try to really get practical tips for how to improve your business. It synthesizes the questions Brad and I get every day, and our firms get every day from folks in the field.
And going into next year in 2021, we're very, very optimistic about the franchising industry. There's going to be phenomenal opportunities. So for that, we're really glad we're going to have some discussions about that. And 2020 has been a very challenging year to many of our franchisors, franchisees, and the suppliers in the industry. So we're very optimistic. We're going into hopefully an exciting fourth quarter as that a vaccine is coming closer and closer. But most importantly is 2021, there's going to be some phenomenal opportunities. And that's what we're here to talk about.
Brad, I'm staring at your image floating on that screen, and it just reminds me of Peter from Family Guy. Good. Look,
I could probably be naked.
I bet somebody laughed at my jokes. As I'll confess later, it's a weird universe where, as a comedian, you have to be able to move forward without any visual or verbal reinforcement from your audience. Anyway, Brad, I think we got this one. I saw a tiger, Showing.
Well, as you can see, every year Springboard is held in Philadelphia. So I figured we'd go into Wayne's World instead of Lane's World. And so this is what our costume. As you can see, I'm wearing my Blackhawk jersey.
Party on, dude.
But my favorite thing growing up with Wayne's World is Party On. And one thing we are going to promise you next year when Springboard comes back is what we're always famous for is the networking, but my favorite thing are the parties. So this is definitely going to be a party on because there ain't no partying this year. But most importantly is, we're trying to make this a little bit fun. And I'm happy I'm in Chicago, unfortunately. So we figured we'd have the Chicago connotation because that's where I am. And but truthfully, we've done we did the Pope one year, we did the statue, we did the whole, what was it, Lane? Help me. Hamilton, because Lane liked all the characters with Philadelphia. So we're going to have a little Chicago part of it. This is the best we could do. We can't do Wrigley Field. We can't watch the Great Bears, but we're going to have fun with it. So here we are.
Brad, you look a little like an acorn. I don't know. I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying that hairstyle. It becomes you, and I think it'd be easy to do in the morning.
Do you think we'll have to wear this costume next year too?
That's hopefully we'll have a better or different costumes. Speaking of costumes, my whole ritual in leaving the house has completely changed. I don't know about yours. And the we used to look for your spectacles, privates, wallet, keys. Now you got to be like, oh my God, how many times have you gotten to your driveway or halfway down your driveway or to the stop sign and been like, oh bleep, I forgot my mask. Like I'm Spider-Man, or I'm some kind of like amazing superhero, a ninja. By the way, those three are the only ones I could think of that could actually get into Walmart during COVID. I think that the Riddler and Teenage Ninja Turtles are out. They're non-compliant masks. Now I guess they're an essential part of human hygiene.
And most people who know Lane usually will find he will buy a new suit for Springboard. So did you buy some new sweats this year?
No, I sent everybody a T-shirt with you, Brad. I wanted to ask you. So we principally didn't hold this event live before we were legally precluded from holding it live because we couldn't imagine a networking function where everybody wears masks. And because I don't know if you're experienced this as I do, this mask talk where the whole world has become muffled, like the whole world got their tongue pierced, like everybody's chewing tobacco or a teaspoon of peanut butter, or like gobstoppers were free, or like their jaws were wired shut. But you'd never know because it's completely concealed. You could probably eat a sandwich in there and nobody would know at the same time. But there's no lip reading, there's no closed captions, no facial expressions, simply no way to buy a vowel. It's a completely new, different way of life.
And if you notice, we sent out your letter or email about this event, and for our pods later, you pretty much said you can wear anything. I don't know if Lane's going to stay in this outfit, but people got to, it's hard. And I'm sure your suits are sitting in your closet. Your dry cleaning bills are way down, I'm sure.
Well, Brad, I think this outfit was the one that most resembles how we appear in real life. So I think let's one off. You ready?
As you can see, we are in our t-shirts, our favorite Springboard t-shirt. One of the big thing, Lane, but mine's a little different. As you know, one of the favorite things that Lane started this is going all the way back is to have our Springboard t-shirts. And one thing, no matter if we are virtual or not, one thing we were not going to give up are our t-shirts. As Lane said, this is his favorite thing. He has to get his favorite cotton, which I hate. So that's why I had to get something a little different. But we appreciate everybody who has taken part in our contest. And it started out, Lane calls me up. He goes, dude, I have the greatest idea in the world. He goes, we're going to do like a TikTok video. Lane, you want to kind of explain from there?
Yeah, it's not a TikTok video because I think the word TikTok terrorizes people, especially now that the president has drawn his battle sights on TikTok. But TikTok style videos, which appear to be all the rage. And so we have asked folks, and I guess you've all seen that came along with your t-shirt came this request to submit videos. So we'll hope to share some with you later, but we are awarding the most creative submissions. Brad Fishman is bleeding his own blood, is paying his own money to reward people who stand out in terms of how they.
By the way, those videos will be on Franchisors.com because if we're paying for something, we're going to use it.
Yeah, in any event. So, Brad, we're on a Zoom call. It's actually so hard to be serious with y'all when we're all dressed up, and I find that always. So I'm glad to rejoin you in our native garb. We're wearing these because we're trying to set the pace. We know you're home. We hope you're home, especially for our relaunch pods, because that's going to require some undivided attention because you'll have unprecedented access. But we know you're home. You don't have to, hit the dry cleaning bags for us, but feel free to come comfortably. We're trying to, we want people to participate in the pods live on camera, and we think that will make for a much more realistic type experience. And so we all, your ponytail, your oldest college sweatpants, all are acceptable. And of course, anything we've ever given you as a gift, you can wear.
On a more serious note, please, people who did not get their t-shirt, please email with your either home address, your office address, wherever you want them sent to, and we promise we will get them out to you.
Great. So Brad, are you you've been to the grocery store a bit? I know you've been home an unprecedented amount of 2020, and I think you probably met your neighbors, the postman, the UPS guy. I'm sure these are all new introductions based on your being home. But have you been grocery shopping lately?
Yeah, we've been out there a few times. I've been there more at the earlier part than now. But yes, as Sherry and I joked around, Sherry and I have never spent this much time together uninterrupted till this week since we've been married.
Yeah, those of us that know you feel great condolences for Sherry and for having to fill the rest
American right now is probably dying with I don't know what to do with all my miles.
I heard that she was leaving warm nuts between the landings of your staircases so that you didn't suffer too badly from separation anxiety from all the flying.
She did not like the idea of me asking for a drink from her. So I guess I better get back on airplane, hopefully sooner than later.
Does she give you those mini bottles now, or two if you're really a good guy? You're like recognizing your status.
But I will tell you, I've gone through more alcohol and wine and beer than I've ever gone through in a long time that I actually bought in my house.
Well, that probably will give you some room to unload some of the stuff you have waiting at your office to come home, according to your folklore. How funny. I'm sort of missing in this call the usual Zoom etiquette of awkward silence. Can you hear me? Talk over me. Weird talks, background talk, some kind of wind gust with you, golf in the back, some golf talk, a strange crunch, heavy breathing. And apologies for that again, stepping on the person and no, you can go and I can go. That occupies so much time. I don't know what I would do with all my time here in this conference.
But you want to know something? We're all going to get through this together. And yes, I vowed not to use Zoom for a long time, but somehow I think Zoom is here to stay. But in our situation, nothing will ever replace Springboard. The camaraderie that people make there, the importance of the relationships. I mean, as you've heard, and we'll hear more about the things and the success of people having first going to Springboard is what makes this conference so special. And the fun part of it is what I missed the most.
Hey, Brad, well, let me go back to the grocery store for a minute. Does your grocery store have this like Roomba that follows you around and like goes under your feet as if your friends invite you over the moment that thing kicks off? Do you have one of these things? I thought it was maybe sanitizing. It really stalks me. I feel like I need to say, excuse me when I walk around it. I don't know if I should stand 6 feet apart of it, from it, if it touches me, if it has the usual, grocery cooties or what. But do you have one of these things?
I don't know.
I know you.
Wait, I want to know if you go to costume, if you go in full costume to go to the grocery store.
I go with as a ninja, sometimes as the Blue Man Group. I go with, they recognize me right away and let me come right in.
You must have a special mask though.
Oh, I do. I have a several special masks. I was wondering if, and I knew that you have the station wagon of this, but ears are the new purse or manny pack of 2020. Have you noticed that you go out and you see people in their yoga pants? I don't know if they're working out, but they look like they are. But their ears are carrying their AirPods. They're carrying their sunglasses, their face masks, their baseball cap, any kind of any other kind of material, earrings in some cases, jewelry, adornments. I suspect you could get a duffel bag up there if you could strap it on your head.
I was wondering if this was where it was going.
Do people want it when you're outside? Do people want to walk at a certain distance in front of you and to the right so that you shade them?
I sure hope not. I'm not going to make any short jokes,
So, Brad, I find myself when I'm walking around, like finding houses I never knew existed with long driveways and finding myself on Zillow trying to figure out like where this house came from and how much it costs. Does anybody else do that? Do you do that?
Yeah, because it's funny. I mean, Sherry and I have lived here for a long time in the house here, and we have never walked to our center of our town from our house. And it's like, Sherry goes, wow, we've never done this. We've lived here for over 20 years. And I'm like, hey, I guess it's that you kind of realize sometimes what you're missing. but because we're so used to jumping on airplanes, going to conferences, it just kind of changed your life. It's kind of slowed it down a little bit. You appreciate some of the things you have in your own neighborhood.
It's funny. I was never a big TV watcher, but you lost that option 30 days into this COVID that you became one. And like, I never knew in my life how many movies, Nicolas Cage, Bruce Willis, Steven Seagal, Lawrence Fishburne, Denzel, Jean-Claude, they made hundreds and hundreds of movies.
And the worst part is you're showing your age because you're naming all stars from yesteryear.
I'm just telling you, they're in every movie that's served up to me, and I've seen the same bad guy like 50 times. Sometimes I conflate the plots because I don't recall what we're in. And let me ask you this, and this isn't really a question for you, it's more for Netflix and Hulu. Like, what's with the 2 and 3 star movies that are selected, especially for me? Who in the world, what algorithm am I on that people decide if they hate it, if everyone hates it, we'll offer this up to Lane Fisher and we'll show it to him for 30 days as one of the 6 choices. It's the craziest thing. And like, maybe you could just send me movies people like, and
well, it's showing what this world's coming to. It's artificial intelligence.
And let me tell you something else. If the movie's going to have subtitles, then it should say that somewhere in it. Instead, it shouldn't say it's the 3rd best movie in the country, but it has subtitles. And sometimes it's the ones where it's a foreign film where it's been dubbed over, and others when it's in a completely foreign language, just in subtitles. How about a heads up before I listen to 15 minutes of welcome music, because it's the longest, see the background of every actor, every clip of every scene before I know that the movie is in Spanish. It's the craziest thing. And what about this? It says, because you watched The Marine 2, you should watch Bill and Ted's Vacation, or, it's the strangest, because you watched Apocalypse Now, you should watch the Family Guy episode. It is the craziest thing in that it's what it serves up to you. I don't know when I pick a movie, I wonder how it's going to frame my profile and how I'm perceived in the free world. But people know now a lot more about me than they ever did before. Anyway,
that's what happens. They're just watching you. That you must be watching those movies.
Just bitching. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm running out of things to watch. I can certainly tell you that.
Well, like I said, hopefully we're going to be back to conferences early next year. And so both of us can get back on airplanes and get back to those nuts and those small little alcohol bottles. But they probably won't be serving either of them. So Lane will be home making his peanut butter and jelly sandwich to take on the plane.
Hey, dude, I'm big with the recipes. I've been at that grocery store finding one of the 1,000 ingredients I never have in it could be hamburger patty, whatever it is, it calls for something that I don't ultimately have. And I now have a collection of stuff I never had to make things, but I'm always like,
well, and what's even worse is when I'm used to food that I like to have at home, and now they stop making it during COVID.
How about when somebody asks you to hand them a quart of something? You're like, which one is the quart, right? Or what kind of flour is that? Or why can't I just use, there's no substitutions either in these things. It's much more difficult. Or they expected me to have eggs, like it's just, I'm new to the game.
I'm still shocked that you're actually following recipes.
Dude, I'm still, my biggest recipe before was mixing 2 cereals together in the same bowl in the morning. I think I'm way better off than I was before, but I'm tired from all the bike riding. Are you bike riding?
No, my son took my bike.
All right, so let me tell you, if you haven't bike ridden in a while, because it looks super fun, you see do it on the stationary. I did that stationary bike for a while. Let me just tell you, I forgot how hard it is to get uphill, or how much of the world is uphill, or what a-holes drivers are, or how your back gets sprayed when you go through a puddle in the rain, or that you have to sit on your privates, or that there isn't anywhere to put anything, or how thirsty you get. Like, there are a million parts of this I never actually remembered.
Well, and probably the last time you bought a bike, there were 3 speeds. How many speeds are on your bike now?
Oh, don't even ask. I thrown the chain and had to try to decipher that myself. Yeah. What else? Have you done anything else crazy? Have you bought anything crazy on Amazon?
No, I have not done anything, though I can make a laugh about as we're sitting home going through this Amazon thing. You buy stuff and you're like, okay, I really didn't need that. And then Sherry looks at me and she goes, so what are you going to do with that now? And I'm like, I have no idea. She goes, why did you buy it? I said, I don't know. It popped up on my Amazon. So we're trying not to buy anything stupid before Sherry yells at me.
Dude, every time I open a box, it's something I don't remember buying. I'm pretty sure it was on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it looked a lot cooler and a lot nicer than the piece of junk that arrived like crumpled in a ball with like 75 rounds of tape around it with all sorts of,
And I
international.
hate buying stuff when it comes here. It's not what I thought I was ordering.
That's everything you open. You're like, who ordered this? And then everyone looks at each other. I didn't order this. You ordered this. Like, somebody ordered this. Instagram got me. All right. Well, we have lots to get to. So let's move along, Brad. You ready to turn it over?
We are ready to do this, guys, and thank you so much for participating. And we look forward to you really, no, seriously, getting a tremendous amount of information.